Hey, it's George here, back for another daily check-in. It's Monday, and although I had a few appointments and coaching calls and meetings scheduled for today, it was a reasonably productive one. I think some of the revelations I had over the weekend with the stories I've been telling myself about how I can't be structured, how I can't get time blocks in and do the same sort of routine things every day because I have such a varied working day. Those kind of revelations that I had and spoke about in yesterday's video have really hit home, actually, and it was a really productive day today. There wasn't much, if any, time for that matter, where I was kind of sitting there thinking, I'm not really getting very much done here. So more of the same, hopefully, for the rest of the week. Now, I did actually have one of the meetings I had today was a conference call with the event organizers and the PR company behind the event I am comparing at this weekend, which is Walk the Night, which is in central London. It's a half marathon or a full marathon, and it's not a race, it's not a run, it's a walk, and hence the name Walk the Night. And there's about 1,100 people or so taking part, mainly women. I think this is about 80% women, 20% men. And the whole thing kicks off with registration at 5 p.m. And then I'll be on stage properly from about 7 p.m. and things start at 8. So so we kind of just went through the logistics of that, and it was really nice actually. The lady behind the event company who are putting it on, doing the actual walk, not the PR company, the event company, she kind of started off the call just saying that she trusts me and she's kind of looking forward to. She hasn't seen me present. She knows what I do. I was put forward by the PR company who I've done work with through the Reading Half Marathon over a period of about 15 years. And so, yeah, she just kind of really sort of set my mind at ease as to what they're expecting from me. I mean, I'm very confident with doing this, and not just with the comparing at things like momentum this year, but also thinking, I've just spent the whole year as president of the Toastmasters Club, which is essentially kind of comparing the evening. I've done so many interviews and over the years. I've compared at other kind of sporting events over the years as well. So I'm fairly confident with not just what I need to do, but knowing that I'll be able to have the flexibility to be able to figure it out on the day. So on Saturday when it comes, I'll be able to use initiative and actually, make sure that it's I get all the relevant bits of information across, but I'm also able to kind of motivate and encourage and entertain the walkers before they set off. So yeah, really looking forward to it actually. It'd be good to kind of be involved in it and to have that role in particular. Some good interesting connections through this as well. So the briefing call was very positive, and they sent me kind of a compare pack, which I haven't been through yet, but I'll be swatting up on that over the next few days. So that was this morning. And yesterday in the video, I alluded to an idea I had for sort of ramping up my accountability and effectiveness. And I didn't kind of go into too many details of that because I wanted to put it into practice, implement it today. And so I've done that now. So it's reasonably straightforward. But basically, I work for myself. I always have done. There was a period for a few years there when I was also working for a Fitness First as a gym manager alongside my PT and other businesses. Where I, in that period of time, I had someone to answer to. I was accountable. I had to tick boxes. I had to make sure that I was doing the right kind of work to the right quality. Not that there was any kind of question of me doing that if I didn't have that sort of accountability, but it was the only time in my life really that I've had, in my professional life, that I've had that accountability. And I realized that, or I guess I'm wondering what change it would bring about if I had that sort of accountability. So if I were to put somebody in place or something in place, I'm not explaining this very well, basically tell somebody to kick my ass and ask me if I'm doing the things that I said I was going to do. And so I got on the phone I messaged Jerry Duffy, this morning. I said, Jerry, have you got a few minutes this afternoon? I've got a favour to ask. I was driving later on, so it's, yeah, give me a call. So I spoke to him, and I think he was probably expecting a kind of a Jerry, could he come over and present for me again? Because I've done that a few times to him at various events that I put on. So I think he was quite relieved that it was just a small thing. That's a big thing for me. It's got not a particularly onerous task for him to do. I said, look, basically, what I need you to do is say every 8 weeks, check in with me and make sure that I've done the things that I'm saying I'm going to do. And he said, absolutely no problem. And then he kind of went a step further. He said, well, why don't you email me and tell me what you're actually going to do? So kind of make some commitments up front, which of course is the other part of this. I can't just say, yeah, I've done stuff these last 8 weeks, because of course that's going to be the case. So I sat down after our call and I wrote down a bunch of stuff. I think it was 10 things, a couple of output goals, things I want to have achieved in 8 weeks' time. And 8 weeks today is actually the day after my 40th birthday as well, which is going to be early September. So I think it's quite fitting to have my first check-in as I move into the next phase of my life, the next era of my life, if you will. And then I wrote down a couple of output goals, but also 10 input goals. And although there'll be more things that I will be doing, I wrote down 10 things that specific things that I'm going to be committing to. And they're things like LinkedIn posts, blog posts, mentioning about my speaking business and the things that I speak about in my emails X number of times between now and then. So rather than like every week I will do this, I think it's something like 4 times in emails over the next 8 weeks. So once a fortnight on average, I will mention about the speaking. I will write, I think it was 24 LinkedIn posts, so an average of 3 a week. So kind of having that big number, and I'm going to create a little chart in line with that. The key thing with this for me is going to be to have those numbers printed out, have them in front of me every single day, and I can see myself chipping away at them. And with the confidence that by doing those things, by doing, there's 10 of them, by doing all 10 of those things alongside all the other bits and bobs that I'm doing, that leaves me in a good position to ultimately achieve the 2 output goals that I have set myself. So that was kind of the idea. That was the thing I wanted to do. I wanted to execute. I had the idea yesterday, put it into practice today, and I already feel this kind of surge of energy, and I'm already feeling pretty motivated and kind of buoyed up anyway at this stage. So this has been a really good lift, and thanks to Jerry for accepting the request and jumping in there as my accountability buddy. But more than that, it's just knowing that I've got somebody out there who I've shared this goal with and is expecting me to come back in 8 weeks' time and say, so George, how did you get on? Jim Rohn, again, been listening to a lot of Jim Rohn. I know that Jerry is also a big fan of Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn talks about don't hang with the easy crowd. And I don't believe that I have been hanging with the easy crowd by any means, but hanging with the kind of crowd that's going to keep your feet to the fire, which is actually what I entitled the email when I sent Jerry, holding my feet to the fire. It just means that I'm going to be pulled along, I'm going to be stretched, I'm going to be pushed, I'm going to be challenged at a faster pace than if I'm just there keeping myself accountable. Now, no, ultimately, I am the only person who can do this stuff. What's Jerry going to do? He's not going to send the boys around if I haven't done it. But Jerry's the kind of guy I don't want to feel like I've let him down. I don't want to feel like I'm underperforming, knowing that I'm going to be in front of him in 8 weeks' time to say yes or no, I did or didn't do the things that I said I was going to do. And I've got no reasons. There's nothing to stop me from doing the things that I've written down. Apart from myself. It's the only thing that can get in the way, and I'm not going to let that happen. So there we go. Maybe there's an idea in there for you as well. Perhaps there's somebody you could reach out to and ask them to very kindly hold you accountable. Maybe that's something that could help with your goals and ambitions, whatever they may be. But anyway, that's my check-in for the day. A couple of biggish things there to cover in a 9.5 minute so far video. So I'll check out now, and I'll be back in again tomorrow with another update. Subscribe, like the video, leave a comment, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Bye for now.